Hello and welcome. This is a very simple application written in C. It is called filter.c and it applies a filter to a bitmap image. There's two main files to this application. There's filter.c, as you can clearly see on top. This is the main part of the application. It calls the image. It will make sure that only one filter is applied at a time. It will make sure that the image is the correct format, which would be a 24-bit BMP. Yeah, it's very straightforward. It's just about getting the dimensions, padding, so on and so forth. Right, so then once the user has put in a certain argument, in this case B for blur, G for grayscale, R for reflection, S for sepia, they will get the desired effect. Right, so the filters are called from helpers.c. It has all of the filters here for grayscale, for sepia, for reflecting the image horizontally, and to blur the image. Blurring the image was definitely the most difficult filter to create, but we managed to get it right at the end with a bit of help. Very simply, it recursively goes through each pixel from top to bottom, left to right, and it will apply a certain change to each of those pixels' RGB qualities. So for grayscale, it takes each one and divides by 3, and then gets a round average, and that brings it usually close enough to about the grayscale tone. Similar thing with sepia, however, it required its own set of changes in order to get the sepia effect. As you can see here, they are all quite specific. The reflect was fairly straightforward. This was very simply a chop and change swap. So recursively go through each pixel, as you can see, and then pick each one up one at a time, place it into a bit of memory, and then place it down backwards from what it picked up. So very straightforward, but this did take a bit of head scratching to get right. But once I understood the principle of it, it was very straightforward. Like I said, the blow is probably the most difficult side of things, but eventually, with a little bit of help from a few different people, I managed to get it right. This was one of the first C programs I actually ever wrote, so don't judge me too hard, but yeah, this was a lot of fun to create. So let's go ahead and give it a try. So right now we are actually in the directory. Let's go ahead and start the process. So I've got one in memory here. Yes, I have. Okay, so it calls the the make file and the filter.c files. It is currently applying a grayscale. It will be pulling the images from images/yard.bmp, which is in here, as you can see. So this is the original image. It's full of color and so on, and it will dump it out as out.bmp. So let's go ahead and run that. And there we go, there's out.bmp. Now this should be in grayscale if everything has worked. So let's give it a look. And there we have it. We can do something very similar and change it to blur. We'll just make it -b instead of -g, and we'll change this to blur out.bmp. Let's run that. And then blur out.bmp should pop up. Let's see. Does that come up? There we go, a slightly more grainy picture. So if we go back to the original, as you can see, it's a lot sharper. Going back to blur out, it's not quite as sharp. And that's it. Thank you very much.